And then we get to our storage cards, where one example would be for something called SCSI. Okay, SCSI stands for Small Computer System Interface. It is a type of storage technology where we can have SCSI hard drives, and you can have an adapter that you put in the card. And I want to point out that with this particular card, sometimes you have external connections, but sometimes you also can have internal connections. In this case, you can have internal or external SCSI hard drives. And here we have a SATA storage adapter, okay, where again, the one on the left, it's interesting. All I'm doing is I'm adding 4 SATA ports, so that means 4 more SATA hard drives. I know that's a separate lesson where we're talking about the different actual types of hard drives. Don't worry about that for right now, but once you understand what that is, if you have a need to put more hard drives in your computer, you can actually put one of these expansion ports in, and there'll be nothing on the outside. Whereas on the right side of this picture here, I show an example of another SATA expansion adapter where you have one more on the inside, but you also have something called eSATA for external SATA on the outside. Okay, so if you want to have an external SATA hard drive. Now, another type of storage card that's very similar to what we've just looked at with both the SCSI and the SATA cards would be a RAID controller card. Okay, and so it's going to allow for multiple connections as far as multiple SCSI devices, multiple SATA devices. Obviously, with SCSI, everything is daisy chained anyway. But this particular card is designed to offer hardware RAID. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail here about RAID because that's something we're going to talk about in a different lesson where we actually talk about storage. Okay, so I'll go into the details of RAID and how it works. But the idea is where you take an array, which by the way, RAID stands for Redundant Array of Independent Disks. So it'll kind of make sense here. You have an array of these independent, smaller disks all working together for one area of storage. So I'll give you that one little teaser before we get into the storage lesson where I talk about it in detail. But sometimes you'll see those storage cards as well.